Good day students, this is teacher Shilpa Adkar. Today, let us learn the 9th chapter in history, Heritage Management. Heritage management is a growing field that is concerned with the identification and protection of cultural heritage in public interest. The term heritage is preferred because of its inherent sense of transmission, legacy, and inheritance. The sources of history and all the books that are available today are the results of dedicated and tireless work of several historians. Institutes like libraries, museums, and archives conserve and preserve this precious historical heritage. The documents and artifacts are stored in the museums and archives after completing the necessary treatments for their conservation and preservation. Libraries conserve, preserve, and manage the books. Let us learn about the different sources of history. First, we have the oral sources of history. Now, oral sources of history, they include collecting and compiling of folk songs and folk tales, etc. Classifying, analyzing, and interpreting the compiled material. Publishing the results of respective research. About the written sources of history, collecting coins and copper plates with inscription on them, documents like official records, personal correspondence and diaries, historical books, old books, manuscripts, pictures, photographs, etc. Completing necessary mechanical and chemical processes of cleaning for the conservation and preservation of collected documents. Next, ascertain the historical value of collected documents, exhibiting selected documents, and lastly, publishing edited documents and research reports. Next, we go to the material sources of history. Material sources of history, that is collecting artifacts, classifying them according to their historical date and type, and preparing indexes. Next, completing necessary mechanical and chemical processes of cleaning for the conservation and preservation of collected documents. Arranging exhibitions of selected artifacts or their replicas. Writing and publishing research articles about collected artifacts. Classifying fossils of plants and animals and preparing indexes. And lastly, exhibiting collected fossils or their replicas. Let us learn about some of the museums. The Louvre Museum, which is there in France, it was established in Paris in the 18th CE, that is Common Era. Exhibits were antiquities collected by members of the royal family. The exhibit includes the painting of Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Many antiquities were brought back by Napoleon Bonaparte from his conquests. Presently, the museum contains more than 3,80,000 artifacts. Next is the British Museum in England. The British Museum in England was established in London in the 18th CE or Common Era. Sir Hans Sloane handed over about 71,000 objects in his collection to the King of England, that is George II. Various art objects and ancient artifacts collected by the British people from British colonies were included. Presently, the museum has about 80 lakhs objects. The National Museum of Natural History, which is there in the USA. The National Museum, it was established in 1846 Common Era. It is managed by the Smithsonian Institution and it houses more than 12 crore specimens of fossils and remains of plants and animals, minerals, rocks, human fossils, and artifacts. Let us learn about the museums in India. The first museum was Indian Museum, which was established by the Asiatic Society of Bengal in Kolkata in 1814 Common Era. The second museum that we see over here is the Government Museum, which was established in Chennai in 1851 Common Era. And the National Museum, it was established in Delhi in 1949. Some museums in India are affiliated to universities and offer courses in museology. They are National Museum in Delhi, Maharaj Sayyajirao University in Vadodara, Kolkata University in Kolkata, Banaras Hindu University in Varanasi, Aligarh Muslim University in Aligarh, and Shivaji University in Gwalior. The Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastusangrahalay. It was established to commemorate the visit of Prince of Wales to India. The foundation was laid in 1905 CE and they decided to name the museum Prince of Wales Museum of Western India. They renamed it as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastusangrahalay in 1998 CE. It was built in Indo-Gothic style and it was given the status of Grade 1 Heritage Building in Mumbai. It houses about 50,000 antiquities and they are divided into 3 categories: arts, archaeology, and natural history. Let us learn about the libraries and archives. Importance of library management. Storehouses of knowledge and information. The libraries are big storehouses of knowledge and information. They are closely related to management science, information technology, and the field of education. Library management means to perform tasks like collecting books, circulation of information sources, etc. They have to make a book available to the reader as per his requirements. The earliest libraries in the world are the Royal Library of Ashurbanipal, the library at Takshila University, the library in Alexandria in Egypt, and the Saraswati Mahal Granthalay in Tanjavur. Important tasks in archive management. Some of the important tasks they have are preserving documents in their original condition, preparing indexes and creating accurate systems of retrieval of documents. Documents from archives are supposed to be reliable. Due to the heavy dependency on computerized systems, information technology has become an inevitable part of the management of libraries and archives. The archives in India, the Imperial Record Department was established in 1891 CE in Kolkata and later shifted to Delhi in 1911 Common Era. In 1998 CE, the President of India, K.R. Narayanan, opened the archives for the public. Archives came under the Ministry of Culture of the Indian government. Documents in a chronological order have been preserved here from 1748 in different languages. Records in Modi script are found. Now, Modi script, it was a script used to write the Marathi language in the 17th century. In the 20th century, the Devanagari script was used to write the Marathi language. The records are classified into 4 categories: public records, oriental studies, manuscripts, and private records. Government of every state in India maintains independent archives. There are 5 crore Modi documents related to Maratha history in the Pune branch. These documents are referred to as Peshwa Daftar. Let us learn about encyclopedias. Encyclopedia is a systematic compilation of information or knowledge of various topics. Organizing available knowledge and making it accessible is the main objective of encyclopedias. The benefits of encyclopedias: they make vast volume of knowledge accessible to the readers. They provide fundamental information on any topic, thus motivating the reader to read extensively. Encyclopedias are indicators of cultural maturity of the society, and they determine the intellectual and cultural needs of the society. Let us see to the features of encyclopedia. The features of encyclopedia are accuracy, meticulousness, objectivity, standardized format, and updated information. The format of the encyclopedia. In the encyclopedia, the topics are either arranged in alphabetical order or the order of the topics. The order is kept according to the convenience of readers and ease of accessibility to the information. There is an index at the end which makes access convenient. It is created by a single editor or an editorial committee, and the articles are written by subject experts. Let us see to the types of encyclopedia. The first one is dictionaries. In dictionaries, the words in a language are arranged in the alphabetical order. They give the meanings of words, synonyms, and etymology. Etymology is the study of the origin of a word. They are of different types: comprehensive dictionaries, dictionaries of terminology, etymological dictionaries, thesaurus, dictionaries of idioms and proverbs, etc. Next, we have Comprehensive Encyclopedia or the VISHVAKOSH. This VISHVAKOSH is of two types. It includes all the subjects under the sun, for example, Encyclopaedia Britannica, Maharashtra Jnan Kosh, Marathi VISHVAKOSH, etc. And the second type includes comprehensive information on one chosen subject, for example, Bharatiya SAMSKRUTI Kosh, Vyayam Dhyan Kosh, etc. The third one is Encyclopedia Literature, that is Koshadishya. It comprises scholarly articles providing information on all possible aspects of one or more predetermined subjects. For example, Maharashtra Jeevan, Sahar Pune, Yearbook, that is Manorama, Times of India, etc. Lastly, we have the indexes. They occur at the end of a book. Alphabetical lists of individuals, subjects, places, keywords, reference books, etc. And they are helpful in finding required information and make the information in a book easily accessible. Let us see how encyclopedia and history is related. Encyclopedia and history as academic exercises put stress on objectivity. Their structure is influenced by national policies, ethical values, and ideals. This strengthens national identity. It is an inspiration to gain, spread, and make knowledge accessible to all. And it is the manifestation of the collective intellect and creativity which are looked upon as outstanding achievements of the society. Encyclopedia and history related subjects. Some encyclopedias include information about various individuals and places in ancient India. They facilitate wider access to knowledge and to expand the intellectual sphere of Marathi-speaking people. These subjects include information on the lives of individuals mentioned in the Vedic literature, and they contain biographies of individuals in the respective periods. Some of the encyclopedias on history-related subjects are Bharatvarshiya Prachin Aitihasik Kosh by Raghunath Bhaskar Godbole, Maharashtra Jnan Kosh edited by Sridhar Vyankatesh Katkar, and Bharatvarshiya Chhatrapati. Let us learn more about STHALAKOSH. It gives us information about historical places. In STHALAKOSH, there are two kinds of texts. The first one is Sthanapoti. It was written in the 14th century CE. It was composed by Muni Vyas of the Mahanubhav sect. It describes all the places visited by Chakradhar Swami. It gives us an idea of Maharashtra in those days. It gives us details about the time, place, and background of events described in Leela Charitra. The second one is Prachin Bharatiya STHALAKOSH, which was written in 1969. It was compiled by Siddheshwar Shastri Chitra. It provides information about places mentioned in the Vedic literature, Arthashastra, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas, etc. Then we have the VISHVAKOSH. The first Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Honorable Shri Yashwantrao Chavan, initiated the compilation of Marathi VISHVAKOSH with the view to enhance the sphere of Marathi language and literature. The work for VISHVAKOSH started under the guidance of Tarka-tirtha Lakshman Shastri Joshi. It contains knowledge about the subjects in the world and important entries about history. Then we have the Bharatiya SAMSKRUTI KOSH. These have 10 volumes edited and published by Mahadev Shastri Joshi. It contains information about Indian history, geography, various ethnic and lingual groups, festivals and other cultural aspects. Lastly, we have the Samudnya Kosh. It explains terminology of history like colonialism, globalization, etc. And it is useful for learning and teaching history. We have come to the end of the lesson. We can conclude by summing up that teachers and students of history can find ample opportunities in the field of publication of encyclopedias, as it requires experts and scholars of history who can contribute significantly to encyclopedias of various types. We have come to the end of this chapter. I hope you have understood. Please go through the question and answers. Thank you.